Yamaha's MT-07 has undergone significant changes, not just in design, but also in technology. And this is the only video you need to watch to learn everything about the new MT-07 ABS connected and, of course, make the best purchase decision. You will learn about technical features, performance in the city and on the road, fuel consumption, insurance cost, maintenance costs, how the new panel connectivity with navigation works, and everything else. And of course, my honest opinion with the pros and cons. Music, I am Amanda Pagliari, and this is the most charming motorcycle channel in Brazil and also has the best motorcycle reviews. So go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. The name MT means Master of Torque. It's a Yamaha family focused on delivering brutal torque at low RPMs, a family of naked motorcycles, okay? And here in Brazil, we only have the entry-level MT-03 and the MT-07. Unfortunately, the MT-09 was discontinued and Yamaha forgot to bring it, at least up until the time this video was recorded. The MT family is all about naked bikes with an aggressive, raw feel. The slogan is the dark side of Japan, which means like the dark side of Japan. And then it always gives you an underground impression, like a bike for a bad boy, for someone who doesn't follow the rules. And I think it really delivers on that promise. Music. The design has changed and now its front is in line with other motorcycles from the MT family, right? Like, for example, the MT-03. Here in the front, we have this running light. I'll turn it on so you can see. Look, it even looks like little eyes here, right? It has a really fierce face and the big headlight is right here in the front. This projector lights up a lot. I like this more minimalist front. It doesn't even compare to that bulky front-end look of the old MT-07. Wow, that lasted for a long time. So I really like this look here. Write in the comments if you like it or not. One good thing we have here is LED turn signals too. So it's full LED. Turn signals in the front, back, and the tail light. The whole set is LED. And the cool thing is that it has automatic turn signal cancellation, and it also has a braking system where when you do an emergency stop, the rear turn signals are automatically activated to warn the vehicle behind you that you braked. This increases your safety. And the next one. Although the front has changed, the rest of the motorcycle is in line with the previous MT-07. So here we have a very muscular tank. This part here is very aggressive and bulky. The engine area is really exposed and also a short tail section. Well, one interesting thing about this tank is that you have three parts. How does it work? Two side panels and the middle part fitting here. In practice, if you fall to one side, you don't need to replace the whole tank, just the damaged side. And with that, Yamaha promises much more savings if you need to replace this part. An innovation, according to Yamaha, are these grooves here on top of the tank, which, according to the Japanese manufacturer, provide better acoustics and promise to enhance the rider's experience. While riding here, the MT-07, you would kind of be able to hear the engine roar better. Does it really work? Compared to the previous version, the new MT-07 lost a bit of tank capacity and now holds 13.6 liters of gasoline. The seat is a two-level split seat, very wide here for the rider and tiny here for the passenger. It has this handle here for you to maneuver, and it's 80.5 centimeters from here to the ground. I'll get on so you can see. Look, I'm 177 centimeters tall and I can put both feet on the ground, okay? So there's no difficulty at all. Regarding the height, I like the tank here. It fits well with my legs and there's extra seat space for me, guys. I can even move further back. Regarding the riding position, your legs stay bent. There's no way around it. It's a naked bike, so you'll have that aggressive riding position with your legs bent and riding more in this posture, okay? It can get tiring, especially if you're tall, so try it out first. Right. For the passenger, we have retractable aluminum foot pegs, okay? And here there's a rubberized finish for the rider. And regarding the weight, it has a curb weight of 183 kilos, which means it already includes the fluids and fuel. It doesn't come with handles here for the passenger to hold on to, so they'll have to hold on tightly to the rider. Oh, an interesting detail is that its radiator is huge, really robust. However, it doesn't come with any kind of protection. And if you want to protect your bike's radiator, actually, I even recommend it if you have an MT-07, you should install the SCAM radiator guard. Why? Because besides protecting it, it says MT-07 on it, and your naked bike will look even more stylish. SCAM is known and recognized for the quality of the products it makes for motorcycles in the adventure bike category. But not everyone knows that SCAM also manufactures accessories for street bikes, scooters, and also for naked motorcycles. That's the case here with the MT-07. And they have more accessories for the MT-07 besides the radiator guard, like a side stand foot enlarger, fairing protector, license plate reinforcement, top case support, which is very useful for traveling, and several cases for you to choose from the aluminum line to the keyless ones, including one that fits 2 helmets, and also from the economy line, which offers great quality at a fair price. To check out the full range of accessories that SCAM has for your motorcycle or scooter, just click the link in the description or point your phone's camera at the QR code on the screen, and that's it. You'll get to know SCAM's entire lineup. And I'll also highlight some products for the MT-07 in the video. Another change we had for this generation was the wheels, which are spin-forged 4% lighter than the previous generation. And in practice, the second one, the Mara, brings more lightness, easier handling, and agility. How will it perform in traffic, in São Paulo's packed lane-splitting traffic? I'll show you in a moment. And well, the wheels are made of alloy tubeless tires, 17-inch rims on both wheels. We also had changes in the brakes. So in the front, we have dual discs with a diameter of 298 millimeters and radial calipers. And in the rear, a disc with a diameter of 245 millimeters, and it comes with an ABS system on both wheels. For the suspension, we don't have any adjustment here on the fork, but finally Yamaha has updated it, and now we have an inverted telescopic fork. Isn't that great? And in the back, a monocoque-type rear swing arm, a link-type rear suspension with 130 millimeters of travel and preload adjustment. And now it comes with an electronic throttle, and unfortunately the new generation engine has been toned down to comply with the new emission and noise regulations here in our Brazilian market. But it didn't get much tamer, okay? It still has the same twin-cylinder engine with cross-plane technology and 689 cubic centimeters. However, the horsepower went from 74.8 to 73.4 horsepower. However, the remap was done and now the power comes in earlier. Before, it reached at 9,000 RPM. Now it comes in at 8,750 RPM. On the other hand, the torque remains the same. 6.9 kilogram force-meter of torque at 6,500 RPM. And the cool thing is that the engine features diesel technology, which offers excellent heat dissipation and engine longevity. And the engine also has a chain final drive and 6-speed transmission, in other words, 6 gears. This motorcycle doesn't come with a quick shifter. However, you do have the slipper and assist clutch technology. What does that mean? The assist technology makes it smoother when you pull the clutch lever. The slipper technology, on the other hand, prevents the rear wheel from locking up when you downshift abruptly. Imagine you're accelerating, you come up to a turn, you downshift, right? And your rear wheel won't lock up. It brings more safety. And we have a minimalist exhaust tip here tucked away. I like its position. I just think it should be darkened, at least in my opinion, to give it that darker look. And the sound of the new MT-07, huh? Shall we listen?
New sound.
Yeah, guys, the cross-plane engine doesn't work miracles, right? But I like the engine. I think it sounds pretty full-bodied. Write your opinion down there. Her big dashboard is a 5-inch color TFT screen, and I'm going to change the background here so you can see the panel despite the glare. Look, here on the display, you can have the automatic background depending on the brightness, black like it is now, and white. I prefer the black one, but for viewing here, you'll be able to see it better in white. It's a very complete panel. It shows a lot of information. Up here we have the clock, the tachometer, the speedometer, and the gear indicator. And down here we have some information like the fuel gauge, the trip, there's also the trip time, and here the traction control and the modes. These aren't riding modes, they're traction control modes. Besides being able to change the background color as I showed you by pressing the home button here, you go to theme. Still on the left handlebar, you have 4 theme options here. Number 4 is the current one. You have theme 3, which is more minimalistic, theme 2, and theme 1. I'm going to leave it. Look, this theme 2 here is really nice too. What's your favorite theme? Write it down below. I'm going to leave it here on theme 4, which is really nice. You can see the information, okay? By pressing the mode button, you can change it here. It's not the riding mode, guys. It's the traction control setting. So you can set it to custom. Here it's on mode 1, and on standard it's mode 2. So that's how the traction control works, okay? You can also select it directly, right, and set it to custom if you want 1 or 2. Here you have a summary of the information. Then you click and you can choose which information will be displayed. For example, here it's showing trip time, which doesn't interest me, right? So look, see how it repeated here. Fuel gauge, you can put the total odometer, you can put trip 1, trip 2, right? Here you can see the current fuel consumption, just like here in the middle. Look, the average, the range, then the temperature, really cool. I'm going to leave the range here, which I found really interesting. You can customize it however you want, really interesting, and leave it on the total odometer. And here it works the same way too. And this dashboard, guys, has a lot of information. You just have to keep exploring. One cool thing is that you have connectivity with Yamaha's Y-Connect app. So you can answer incoming calls and control music while riding by using the intercom. That's really cool. And you can also see your messages when the bike is stopped. Here we have more options. Look, turn-by-turn navigation. There's this navigation here with the Garmin app. Look how cool that is. Down here you have the turn-by-turn navigation. And to use the integrated GPS, you need to download the Garmin Street Cross app, which provides turn-by-turn navigation or the full map, depending on how you ride. Here on the outside are several indicator lights. I'll turn it on again so you can see. The lights for ABS and traction control appear here. When you turn on the blinkers, right, the neutral indicator also appears on the screen. The dashboard of the new MT-07 is amazing. That's why you need to take good care of it. Can you imagine how much it would cost to replace it? That's why my tip is to use proto screen protectors, not just on your MT-07, but on any other motorcycle as well. After all, I know you have a screen protector on your phone, so why wouldn't you put one on your motorcycle, which is much more expensive? Proto has several options, and the kit already comes complete for installation. In fact, there's this new screen protector, HD, which protects 40% more than the others, is ultra glossy and has a thickness of 0.42 millimeters. It's more flexible, but it's also thicker and offers more protection, adapting to different types of panels, even the more rounded ones. Proto screen protectors don't use glue. Instead, they use the same electrostatic technology as cell phone screen protectors. And it protects against damage caused by scratches, dust, sunlight, and wear over time. It doesn't come off with water and helps hide existing scratches. And if you need to remove the screen protector, it will come off without damaging or leaving any residue. It's really worth putting Proto's screen protectors on your motorcycle's dashboard for 2 reasons. First, it will protect your motorcycle dashboard. And second, it will increase its resale value. And who knows, you might even be able to sell your motorcycle above the FIP guide value because the dashboard will be intact. The price is much cheaper than you think. And on the Proto website, you have a discount code AMANDAVANDA. Just use the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. So it's really worth it to get this Ultra HD film exclusive from Proto, and it's going to look great on your motorcycle. I'll also leave some screen protectors linked here in the video. The discount code is only available on the official Proto website. Here on the right side, we have the mode button so you can adjust the traction control. This button here has multiple functions to cut off the engine power and also to start the motorcycle. And here on the left side, we have this joystick with 5 positions, 4 directions, and also for you to press enter. To navigate the dashboard, use this home button to access the menu or go back. The arrow buttons here are pretty interesting. You have the left arrow here already a bit raised and the right arrow. The horn is down here, and here the little red one below is the hazard light switch. And here behind the trigger, the high beam button and also the headlight flasher. And now that I've shown you everything about the new MT-07, it's time to ride it through the streets of Sao Paulo and also hit the road. And if you think this video is super complete, how about leaving a like? You help and motivate me to make more videos like this. Now hop on the back with me. Oh, by the way, check out this amazing helmet from Pius, the new Tokyo release. Look at this unique design. There are more colors, but the focus of this helmet is to showcase a bit of ancestral culture with all these wonderful Japanese elements. The purchase link is in the description. MT-07, what a bike, guys. Wow, this bike is really cool. I don't remember the first time I rode. Man, I used to say, wow, it feels like a phaser in terms of handling, but the engine is really explosive. It's a master of torque, right? Wow, I fell in love with this bike, but I have to admit that I didn't really like its design at the time. Its front end looked really bulky. And I'm someone who really cares about design, so I used to say, oh, that bike is ugly. And now with those fierce eyes, those big LED headlights, wow, I think it looks really beautiful. Big dashboard, right, guys? Big dashboard here. Very cool. Yeah, when you're lane splitting, be careful because the handlebars are actually pretty narrow here. Look. But wow, go ahead, sir. But the mirrors here, they don't really stick out much, but I think they're at a height. Look. At least that's the impression I get here. Wow, the handling of this bike. What an amazing bike. What a bike. And I'm not even accelerating. The bike is really easy to handle. Yeah, I know that, right? It lost some horsepower, right? The engine got a bit weaker, maybe, right? But this bike isn't weak. Maybe it's not as raw and aggressive as it used to be. But still, it's still a really fun bike. Whoa, sir. What happened there, sir? Well, here, while filtering through traffic, guys, she goes because of the excellent handling and the engine that he's always giving you, right? It's power torque. But it delivers it to you in a linear way. I really like the engine of the MT-07. I think it's much more manageable than the MT-09, for example. Right? So that A mode on the MT-09, you just can't weave through traffic with it. And it's not too rough here, you know? The bike. It doesn't fight with me trying to break out of the cage, you know? As I accelerate, it responds to me, you know? And that's what I think is really cool. Not in a desperate way. I release the clutch just a millimeter and the bike already takes off like crazy. Some people like bikes like that. Personally, I don't. Because it's stressful to ride in traffic like that. I want to, clear my head. I want to have fun riding a bike, but that's it, guys. This bike here, of course, is not recommended for beginners, for heaven's sake. If you just got your license, don't start with the MT-07, please. Go with, Amanda, I don't want to go with the FZ25, then go with the MT-03. Choose the MT-03. It's a solid learning bike for you. Don't start right away with that bike because besides being more expensive, you can even fall while standing still, which is common, right? Because of the weight and everything else. Hey, respect the machine, right? Respect the motorcycle, okay? So that's it. I don't recommend it for beginners. I think it's for someone who likes sporty riding, who will ride in the city, who wants to have fun, who can take it to a track day. Why not? You can take this motorcycle to a track day. Even without a fairing, you can ride it in a really fun way. Of course, you have to change the tires and all that. But overall, the motorcycle is really enjoyable to ride and very easy to handle. So enough of riding in traffic. It performed really well here. Now let's hit the road, right? Let's speed up. On the road, Let's go. Man, what's most impressive about this bike is that you're giving it gas right there. I don't know, like 160 in sixth gear. And then you accelerate more. And it responds, you know? So if I want more, it's going to give you more. Even up there, the rev range, right? It's running and the bike won't give you more even if you want it. So it's really cool because this crossplane engine here is always delivering. Look. I'm not going to reach top speed on the road. I don't think it's cool. It's just a little acceleration here, nice and easy. Just to really feel the engine and share it with you all. But that's it. The bike goes really fast. It really does. But it could have used a steering damper here on the road. But I'll be honest, it didn't wobble with me, okay? At about 170 something, it didn't wobble then, okay? The mirrors. Visibility is good because they're big, right? They're easy to see out of. And that's it. Here on the road, you can feel how uncomfortable the seat is, right? Actually, the seat is pretty wide. I can even move further back here. Here, I'm really close to the tank, see? And here, look. I stay further back. So I can even keep my legs a little more stretched out, right? The good thing is that the jumpsuit fits, right? And here is where you lean on the tank. This gives me better control of the motorcycle without having to force it with my hands, you know? But that's it. I was on the road here to take some turns. The motorcycle is great. For some riders, it's a perfect fit. But that's it. Now let's wrap up the video with the pros and cons, and it's fuel consumption, right? Bye. And if you want to take this ride to your garage, but you think the financing rates are too high and you don't have the money to pay up front, how about getting yours? No interest, no down payment, and look, with installments of 557 reais and 76 centavos under the special plan with my friend Pablo. This dream is possible, but you need to plan ahead. Not all group purchase plans are the same. You need to do it with the right group first, with a reputable company, of course, that's obvious. But you know, in the right group, there are some groups with a very high administration fee and others that don't. You need to know if the group is a new group or if it's a group that's already awarding spots to more people or not. And all this strategy, this roadmap, who will tell you about it is Pablo, my friend Pablo, who has a lot of knowledge on the subject and has already helped hundreds of followers. By the way, guys, I'm in a home buying plan here to get my own house to build here in the condominium where I live. So you can plan as well, whether it's for your MT-07, another Yamaha motorcycle, another brand of motorcycle, or even a car. And who knows, maybe if you want a house just like Mandinha is doing. Don't waste time, just click the link in the description or point your phone's camera at the QR code on the screen. This link is for Pablo's personal WhatsApp and he will give you the whole strategy. Depending on your financial situation, whether you have money to make an offer or not, how much you have available monthly, Pablo will map out the path to success, the strategy for you to get your plan, your asset, your dream, maybe even by 2026. Regarding fuel consumption, we know that the faster you go, the more you'll spend. There's no way around it. Here, with a mix of city and highway driving, pushing it to the limit, top speed and everything, it averaged 18 kilometers per liter. And do you have the new MT-07 connected? Write down below what fuel consumption you get with it, music. What about insurance, huh? How much is the installment? Guys, it's not enough just to have the asset, you need to have it and protect it. Besides maintenance, it's kind of mandatory, right, to take your motorcycle out of the dealership already with insurance. Don't take an MT-07 without insurance, for God's sake, okay? The good thing is that my followers pay less at the Protect Me insurance broker. The broker has the cheapest insurance in Brazil, okay? It's not vehicle protection, it's insurance with companies registered with SUSEP, all right? There's a guarantee here. You will be reimbursed. Why is Protect Me's insurance the cheapest in Brazil? Because they are 100% digital. They use, artificial intelligence. And with that, the costs are lower and they can pass the savings on to you. I got a quote here. It's ready. Theft and robbery, that's it. Theft and robbery, towing, 24-hour assistance and compensation at 100% of the FIP value. The amount went from 778 reais and 22 centavos to 589 reais and 30 centavos, and that's the annual amount. You can pay in 12 installments, just a little over 63 reais, and you're already covered for theft and robbery. No, Amanda, I want more protection, There's one for you too. Look, you have a deductible vehicle repairs, theft and robbery coverage, compensation at 100% of the FIP value, total loss from collision, and third-party coverage, right, for both material and bodily damages. And the assistance has even increased, right, up to 300 km. The total amount is 1,854 reais and 18 centavos. That's the annual amount, and you can pay in installments, up to 10 installments with no interest. Isn't that great? Get insurance tailored to your profile. It might be more expensive or much cheaper using the link in the description or the QR code on the screen. Protect Me has already helped hundreds of followers. If you're one of them, write your testimonial below and you might be next to get the cheapest insurance in Brazil. With Protect Me, there's no bureaucracy. You do everything easily on your phone. Click, get a quote, done. I'll share what I see as pros and cons. This is just my opinion. Feel free to agree or disagree, but please comment respectfully. That said, starting with the positives, design. Finally, that big-headed look is gone. The bike is beautiful, nice, great to ride, a positive point, right? It's even full LED. Another good thing is the ergonomics. I didn't really mention it much, but the position of the foot pegs and everything else has changed. And with that, you get more comfort while riding. Remember, it's a naked bike, right? But the ergonomics have improved, and this is one of the few naked bikes that very tall people can actually ride because it doesn't have such a tiring riding position. So that's a positive point. Another positive point is the tank here in 3 parts, right? It's modular, so it's more economical for you. And the inverted front suspension is another positive point. It's a fun bike, so that's a positive point. You're going to get off it or ride it with a big smile on your face from ear to ear. It's an agile motorcycle, right? So that's a really good thing. You saw there lane splitting in heavy traffic, Mandinha weaving through the lanes, just taking off the mirror here, right? But other than that, the bike is really good to ride in traffic. That's a positive point. And the engine, right, guys, this cross-plane engine already well known from Yamaha, it's a torquey engine, okay, it lost some horsepower, okay, calm down, I'll talk about that in the negative points, but still, it's a very good engine, an exciting engine, so I really liked it. The handling is great. The bike seems to corner on its own, so even if you can't turn well, the MT handles it for you. The bike is very easy to handle, that's a positive point. It's the lightest in its category, so Yamaha made some changes, took off weight here and there, and still kept it as the lightest in the category. That's really cool. The dashboard, right? The dashboard has a lot of information. It's beautiful, basically a tablet here for you to look at while you ride. That's a positive point. The connectivity with your phone is another good thing, right? And also the Garmin navigation app. That's another positive point. The brakes surprise me. They're very strong. They handle all the power of this engine, so that's a positive point. And the last thing is that it comes with fixed price maintenance, so even before you buy it, you already know how much you'll spend, and it has a 4-year warranty. Music. Now, I'll talk about the negative points. The first one, of course, is that it lost horsepower. I know, you're a real hardcore MT fan, right? You missed the horsepower, didn't you? But that's not even Yamaha's fault, actually. It's because of the laws. And pollutants, sometimes it's not even just about pollutants, It's noise that's measured differently in Brazil. So the manufacturers need to adapt their bikes to the regulations of each country. And in Brazil, unfortunately, it ended up losing a bit of horsepower. Now, another thing that really is Yamaha's fault is that the turn signals are very exposed here. Yamaha, for God's sake, you could have put the turn signals here. Look, for example, at the front of the bike. Why? Who hasn't fallen while standing still? Who hasn't fallen? So what happens? The turn signals here are very exposed. If you fall, for example, with the handlebars like this, goodbye turn signal, and this Yamaha turn signal probably isn't cheap, right? So I think this could be improved in the future. Here's a tip for Yamaha in Japan. Another point that I know won't be improved, but I need to tell you, is the hard seat. Why? It's a characteristic of this style of bike, of naked bikes, of sport bikes. It's not for you to go touring, traveling, or enjoying the scenery. This is a bike for you to speed up. It's a performance bike, so you're not going to have a comfortable seat. But I needed to tell you that. Because if you're thinking about buying this bike and taking it on a 200-kilometer trip, you're going to be sore because this seat is really hard, okay? Just a tip. Also, about the passenger seat, it actually got worse. The previous generations was thicker and more padded. This one is just for looks and short rides. It's not good for carrying a passenger. Another negative point, at least in my opinion, is that, look, guys, it doesn't turn much. I showed you while riding in traffic. It's just a characteristic. Maybe you don't mind, but I need to tell you that it has limited steering lock, okay? Another thing, in my opinion, is that the engine gets hot. It seemed to me that it heats up less than the previous generation, but it still gets a bit hot. The fan, they would start the bike and the fan would start running. So keep that in mind, especially if you live in hot regions. Another issue, especially for the price, is the lack of a quick shifter as standard. It could have one maybe in the future. The bike got an electronic throttle, but unfortunately it's still missing riding modes, or at least two riding modes like Eco mode, Standard mode, or maybe Eco Standard and Sport mode. Why not, right? It didn't come this time, unfortunately. What also didn't come this time was the power outlet, so there's no outlet here for you to charge your phone. Unfortunately, and keeping my review from the previous generation, the generation changed, but the problem with the horn is still there. Guys, it might seem like a silly thing, but no, how many times I used the left turn signal thinking I was hitting the horn and nothing happened, so I was like, wow, it really gets me, right? The turn signal could be, guys, I don't know what the engineers did here, the design team. The turn signal is that little stick that you just tap, and it ended up kind of weird here, a bit chunky, and then the horn is down there together with the hazard lights. It doesn't make sense. It gets in the way because of its bad position. It might not matter to you when buying, but I had to mention it. It also doesn't have a steering damper, so that's a negative point. And do you have more positive or negative points? Write them down below. And it's available in 3 colors with a suggested retail price starting at 54,790 Rs. And if you want to buy your MT-07 connected or any other Yamaha motorcycle, my tip is to stop by one of the Nakar Group stores. Why? First, they have the best customer service for Yamaha in Brazil, so it's worth it. You can have a coffee and chat with the salesperson. They also accept your used bike as part of the payment. They're great at making deals, aren't they? Talk to them. Just send a message through the link in the description or the phone number on the screen and chat with them on WhatsApp. You can already start negotiating for your motorcycle, whether it's the MT-07 or another Yamaha model, a scooter, or any other type of bike. And of course, there's financing, easy payment options, consortium plans, and much more. And obviously, my followers get special advantages. So, when you contact Naka or visit one of their stores, make sure to say you saw it here on the Motoplay channel because you always get special advantages, okay? Don't close your Yamaha deal before talking to Nakar. Nakar is Yamaha, Yamaha is Nakar. Nakar. If you liked the video, leave a like, share it with your friends, your WhatsApp and Facebook groups. It really helps me a lot. By the way, I made a video riding this motorcycle at Arastuti on the track. I interviewed riders, Fox, a professional rider, and also Rafa Toni, who is a riding instructor. And they're going to give, well, maybe not give, right? They've already shared their impressions about this motorcycle on the track. The video is here in the description. Go watch it later, okay? And also in the card, it's really cool. I even talked about some changes too. There's also its launch video here on the channel, right? On the day Yamaha launched it. The video is also here in the description. And up here, I left a really cool video for you about the competitor. And down here, I left another one that I'm sure you'll like. Become a member of the channel. There are several benefits, exclusive content, giveaways, and much more. Well, become a member of Amandinha's channel. But if you can't, that's okay. At least subscribe to the channel, it's free, and you help me a lot and stay up to date with the motorcycling world. So that's it, see you next time. I'll be back. Kisses.